Hey guys, thanks for coming back to the cultsploitation.com TikTok channel. Today I wanted to take a moment to talk about Vinegar Syndrome's recent release, UHD, of The Werewolf vs. Vampire Woman. So this is the fifth entry in the Paul Naschy Daninsky werewolf saga. If you've seen any of those other movies, this one's kind of very similar to that, except in this case, he's sort of an anti-hero and he's battling this black-veiled vampire woman who has accidentally been resurrected from her grave. The movie has a great atmosphere. It's very moody. It has a lot of gothic settings to it. Again, Paul Naschy really steals the show here. He's really one of the main reasons why you'd watch this movie in the first place. The werewolf elements don't really come out to play too much, except for at the beginning and towards the end, because it's really not a focus in this movie. More so, the focus is on that vampire woman and the battle that ensues towards the ending, which is really great, and I would recommend watching simply for that. However, the movie is pretty good on its own. It's really simplistic, so you don't go in expecting too much. But if you do like these Naschy werewolf movies, especially if you're fans of like Hammer horror from that era, or the Universal monster movies, then I think you'll like The Werewolf vs. Vampire Woman. Now, Vinegar Syndrome has jumped right to a UHD release for this movie. It hasn't gotten a Blu-ray release in America. There are some international releases, however. Here, they give us 3 discs, 3 different cuts of the movie. There's the international nude cut, which is the one that's on the UHD. And then there is a Spanish clothed cut, which has some censorship to it, and also a Spanish integral cut, which kind of combines the international nude cut with some of the alternate scenes from the Spanish clothed cut. Now, the one that's probably the most useful to viewers is obviously the UHD version, the international cut, which is represented very well with great HDR, tone mapping, excellent blacks, and very well detailed. The grain resolution is really great on this. It's very fine. If you watch the Blu-ray version that's also included, you'll notice that the grain is a little bit chunkier on the Blu-ray, so that resolving is just a lot better on the UHD. And I would definitely recommend this transfer. It's very good. Now, besides the inclusion of the 2 other cuts on the extra Blu-rays, this does get a couple of extra features. One is an older feature film that goes into Paul Naschy's life and his filmography that's hosted by Mick Garris. And then there is also a new interview with Paul Naschy's son, Sergio Molina, who really goes into a lot of his filmography, his favorites from Paul Naschy's career, and then also some more interesting tidbits about The Werewolf vs. Vampire Woman. And as I said before, if you're fans of Hammer horror or Universal monster movies, Werewolf vs. Vampire Woman should be right up your alley. And this release from Vinegar Syndrome on 4K UHD is excellent.